We're going to count it down and do it right in 3, 2, 1.
So you really like the chopped chicken liver? I get it in a drum from a catalog. It's a lot easier than Italian food like my last place. Did you know you have to heat up Italian food?
Shut up, you adult!
The morning stream. The good guys will come and get you. Okay?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to TMS. It's the morning stream for Monday, March 18th, 2024. I'm Scott Johnson, and that's Brian Ibbett. Hi, Brian.
Yo, hello.
How was your weekend overall? Good time, you know?
You know, it was good. It was, we're thawing out from all the snow that we got last week. You got the same thing.
Yeah. It's warming up, though. We're getting sun, a little bit of warm temperatures now, so that'll be coming your way.
Mid-50s today for us, mid-60s for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Let's look at 10 day. But I'm finding that there's, it's helped me discover that there's a gutter issue that I'm going to have to deal with sooner rather than later. So we got solar panels, and the snow just kind of collects on those solar panels, right? Until it melts enough to just slide down the roof.
Sure.
And it's really fun because next door, the crazy neighbors have a steeper roof. And when the snow comes down off of theirs, it comes down in a massive, like we hear it in our house.
Oh,
like
you can
thunder.
hear it when it falls. That's like
It is
signs
like
of spring.
thunder.
Yeah. That's cool.
For ours, it's a little bit more of a gradual slope, so it comes down a little bit more piecemeal as opposed to all at the same time. But I was in front of the garage and I hear what sounds like drumming, and I'm like, "What the heck is that?" And I go around the corner and look, and the side of our house, the side of our garage, there's the gutter, and it's right under where the solar panels are.
Sure.
And some of the snow coming down, it was so heavy and wet that it pulled the gutter away. Like, there are these nails that go into the outside of the gutter, go across the top of the gutter, and then into the eaves of the house. And the weight had pushed those nails out on about like 4 or 5 nails in a row. And because of that, the gutter was tilted at about a 30-degree angle, which when it fills up means that the water is coming out of the side of that rather than going down to the drain.
That's not good.
So I really quickly grabbed a ladder and kind of did a little Band-Aid job to where I brought the ladder. It was great because normally I'd be a lot more concerned about leveling the ladder and, oh, Tina, maybe I need you to hold the ladder for me.
Sure.
It's a little A-frame ladder.
Yeah.
But the snow was so heavy on that side of the house from all the snow that piled up, the snow drifts, and then on top of it, the snow that came off the solar panels. I basically was able to take the ladder and go shoom and just push it into the snow, and it stayed put perfectly.
That's great.
So climbed up there, hammered it all shut, and I'm looking as I'm hammering it. I'm looking at the snow that's still on the solar panels, thinking these are just going to slide right into my face. The way I'm positioned, I'm going to be hammering these things. That's going to be enough to cause an avalanche of snow, and the only place it can go is right at my eye level.
Should have called Tina and said, "Get out here with a camera, and we may go viral or something here."
I'm thinking that yeah, exactly. This goes to Funniest Home Videos. This goes to the Today Show.
Yeah.
But fortunately, it stayed put. I got the thing a little Band-Aid fix on it, but it means that when things thaw out a little bit more, I'm going to have to do more of replace a bunch of nails, maybe even replace a section of gutter or something.
So if I remember right, when we did that, we had to recently do our gutters again, and we had to have a whole bunch of new stuff put in because the stuff that you nail into, if I remember this right, is a separate layer of something. I don't know what it even is. It's like particle board or something. It's not part of the roof because you don't want to, according to the guy, you don't want to nail directly into the roof or something. I don't remember what it was.
You'll put a hole in the roof. There's a hole in the roof.
Literally that would happen. And so he had to put this stuff in between, and it was a pain, and it was also expensive, and I hated every second of all that whole process. I hated it. I didn't have to do it, but we paid through the freaking a-hole for that.
Ugh,
so you're DIY this a little bit, and you can kind of,
Yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
that I can do all that myself.
Yeah. you
Also
can do
did
it.
some lifting over the weekend.
Oh,
Did a
yeah?
lot of lifting and
250, 300 bench presses, squats.
yeah, exactly. Had a spotter sitting there getting ready to grab the the barbell when it landed on my chest.
Sure.
No, but it's funny because whatever 2018 I started lifting, and maybe people have left things in my car twice over 4 years, 5 years of doing this. 6 years now. Wow.
That's crazy.
And
Jeez.
although I didn't do it any during the pandemic, didn't want to put any plexiglass in my car and have to screw things up in there.
Yeah.
But this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, had people leaving things in my car, passengers who left something behind. And first one was Saturday night. Took a woman to an Irish bar called Clancy's, and she left gloves in my car.
Oops.
And she didn't realize it or whatever. She thought she may have lost them at the bar, but we found them in the car that night. And so I go on the app and I say, oh, found lost item, must have been hers. So it lets me then send a message to that person. I can say, hey, did you leave a pair of gloves in my car? Found them, and it could have been somebody earlier, but you were on my last ride, and somebody, it seems like somebody would have mentioned if they found it before, or you would have seen them in there and told me about it. She's like, oh yeah, they're totally mine. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna be driving this morning. If I get close to your house, I remember where I picked her up, then I'll drop them off for you. She's like, oh, that's great. First ride actually takes me a mile away from her house, so it's perfect. I drop it off, and she throws a tip in the app.
Oh.
Now, when I click the button that says, like, she threw an extra tip. She tipped me when I took her to the bar, and then she went in there and like added to her tip. So when I return the item, there's a button that says claim $20 fee, which basically takes it, like, charges them $20. Lyft, I don't think, gets a penny of it. Takes it out of basically charges the passenger and gives me an additional $20.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, there's no way those gloves, like, I'm certain she tipped me. There's no way I'm gonna like do an ad-on thing. So I click waive $20 fee.
Yeah, you can't charge. That would be skeevy.
I can't charge. I would have felt horrible.
Yeah.
So yesterday, I do a little bit more. No, I'm sorry. That was Friday. This was Saturday. I do a little bit more driving on Saturday. And somebody leaves a phone in my car. A group of 4 people basically taken from one light rail stop to where the light rail stop would have taken them had they not missed the train to go drink in Old Town Arvada. And they leave the phone in the car. There's a whole big thing about like, hey, plug in your phone. It's out of batteries. Well, you hold on to it because I don't want to hold on to it. And then they end up leaving in the car.
Of course.
And I'm on my way up north for another ride. And I get the message from one of them. Hey, we left our phone in the car. I look back. Yeah, sure enough, there it is, dangling out of the charge cord. And so I reply and say, well, I'm on my way up north, but after this ride, I'm still kind of on this side of town, so I'll dash back down there and meet you at this spot where I dropped you off and get you the phone. So I do. I drop them off. I come back down, text, hey, I'm here where I picked you guys up. Oh, we'll be right there. 5 minutes later, they finally walk over. Now I look in the app to see, because this was way more of an involved trip, and I had to stop driving, like stop taking rides to do it.
Yeah.
So I look and see, did they tip me? They didn't give me any money when I dropped the phone off, and it was like an extra tip. Didn't do that, and they didn't tip in the app.
Yeah.
Yeah, charge $20.
Yeah,
fee.
do the $20. Effing yes, do the $20 for them.
Exactly. I felt a little guilty, but then it's like, I don't feel that guilty.
No, especially if you had to stop everything and go out of your way. Freaking forget it, man.
Exactly. Yeah. So that took me off the road for a good 45 minutes, and that's easily $20 worth of lifting I could have done. So it's like, yeah, I wouldn't do it for the first person. Definitely do it for the second person.
Yeah.
So.
And if they just showed up at the window with, and thrown you some, whatever, anything
Right,
other
exactly.
than just like it's your job to somehow bring their phone back to them.
Right. It's way out of my way.
That's
it's
annoying.
not like it's super convenient. So yeah, took the $20.
Nice. Spend that wisely. All right.
You know what I did? I bought gas with it. It went towards putting gas in the car. No big deal. Yeah,
That's what you got to do.
that's what you gotta do.
Well, that's awesome. I had a weird dream about you and Bobby,
Oh,
my wife, and it all took place in a giant cement
And a
silo and a mannequin. No mannequins, but there was a big silo, a big cement silo for some reason. So let me tell you the brief version of this dream, and then you can interpret it.
okay.
And this was vivid as hell. Hate when they're
All right.
vivid because I don't forget them. They stick out in my head. They do seem ridiculous when I wake up, but when I was in the middle of it, it seemed real. So in the dream, for some reason, the whole thing takes place in a big, tall, almost like a nuclear
a
tower.
silo?
Yeah, like like one of those silos, like in The Simpsons, like one of the two, in the
Okay,
intro.
yeah, like the 3 Mile Island kind of like
Yeah.
curved silo thing.
Exactly. Except it was big, open, and airy, and there's nothing in there. But for some
And
reason,
above ground, unlike the TV show Silo.
Exactly.
Book when they're below ground.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know why we're in it. There's no indication in the dream why that's even a thing, but we're in it. We live there somehow. We all do. I don't know why.
Sure.
And in this silo, I find out, or word gets back to me, that Kim and Bobby have had an affair. Which is just ridiculous, but in the dream, this is a thing. And I don't know why Bobby's even anywhere near my dream. It's just weird. And
Nice job, Bobby. Can't
yeah.
we? This won't be awkward later when we have you on the show.
No, it won't be weird at all. But he was in this dream. They had this affair. I'm super pissed. Kim is really dismissive in the dream, which is unlike her. And it's just like really, like in the dream, in the moment, I am really angry, right? I wake up later and this is just like, what the hell was that? That was ridiculous. It was so stupid. But part of this dream was I find out about the affair. I'm fuming about it. Everybody's denying it, or they're just saying whatever. It's you quit being so uptight or whatever.
These things happen in nuclear silos. What are you gonna?
Yeah, it's one big silo with a few of us in here. What do you expect? You're lucky it doesn't happen more often, basically. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of this guy that owes me 89 grand still in real life, the dude I worked for, contract work, and never paid me.
Yeah.
He calls in the dream and says, "Hey, this is Ben. I need that's his name, Ben. I'm not going to dox him, but his name's Ben.
Yeah.
So this is Ben.
Now he'll be easy to find.
Yeah, yeah. You can track down good luck, everybody. Ben.
Yes. Ben, we know now.
Yeah, we know where to find him. So Ben says, "I need you and Brian. You, Brian, not Dunaway or anyone else. It's you for sure." He says, "I need you and Brian, stat to get on a plane, first plane possible to Idaho, and I need you there tonight."
Okay.
And I go, "Oh shit! With all this going on, how are we supposed to do this?" All right, hey Brian, across the silo. Hey, we need to get on a plane, and the plane,
Stat.
and the plane was at 2:30 in the morning. It's the best flight we could get.
Okay. Yeah.
The plane came and landed in the silo. That's how wide it was.
Oh. Okay.
Went down to the bottom. It was like almost like a hover jet. You and I get on this plane at 2:30. I'm dead tired. My wife's laughing. Bobby thinks everything's fine.
I'll keep an eye on it for you, Scott. See ya.
and best I can tell, that whole silo is me, Kim, Bobby, Brian. That's it.
That's it. That's just
Nobody else. No one else exists in here. And then Ben on a phone somewhere else.
Yeah.
So we get on this plane. We go to Idaho for who knows what, and that's when I wake up. What a stupid dream. It's meaningless. It's stupid. Like, what is the point of any of that? Like, why, brain? I wasn't doing anything weird before I went to bed. I didn't drink caffeine at night. I didn't eat something weird. Why does my brain go there?
That's so weird. Oh, that explains it, because I got a message from the plaza that you changed your reservation to the Californian. Now it all makes sense.
Now it all okay. Now I see.
You're over at El Cortez now, and so now I understand.
Oh my gosh, the El Cortez. I feel like I'd come away with something weird if I went there. I don't know.
You know what? The El Cortez, quirky as heck down in their lounge area. That was one of the first times I ever saw James and Svet play. It might have been the first time was at the El Cortez, because I went there with this dude who knew the soundboard guy. It was right around the time of 777. Oh no, I saw them perform the night before the Coverville 777 concert, because that's when they introduced themselves. But
Gotcha.
yeah, I'm gonna have to ask him about that, because I know that was an early early time of seeing them again. Might have been the second time I ever saw them.
El Cortez has been there forever, right? Like it's an old one.
El Cortez is an older one, yeah. And they did a refurb years ago. It's privately, well, I want to say privately owned, but it's not, as far as I know, it's not part of one of the downtown groups.
Oh, interesting. Oh, 82 years. That is a long time.
Oh, wow. It's 82 years old?
Yeah,
El Cortez?
1941 opened.
Wow.
And it's still, I think you're right about the ownership. Let's see.
Yeah, I think it's its own deal. It's not part of one of the other
Let's see.
places.
It says it was remodeled in 52, but I don't know if anything's been done. 2013, okay. It reflects the 1952 remodel when the facade was modernized. On February 22nd, 2013, the structure was placed on the National Register of Historic Places. That's cool.
Nice. Yeah. That's cool. So when they did the remodel, they kept it looking 1950s, huh?
I guess so. Yeah.
Wow. It got, in 2023, got the award for Best Downtown Hotel. Is that really true? Look at that.
Whoa, maybe we should go there. Sounds cool.
We should, it's been a while since I've checked it out, but their refurb looked great when I saw that. And they've got, Bugsy's, I think they have Bugsy's. Is that where you get the, yeah. Siegel's 1941.
Yeah.
That's a good place to get a bite.
Oh, it says here, Bugsy Siegel, Meyer Lansky, and Gus Greenbaum and Mo Sedway bought the property in 45 from this dude who built it for $600,000. Originally, it was built for $245,000 is all.
Wow.
That's insane.
That is insane.
So it looks like Siegel ran the thing until 70. Let's see here. I'm trying to see if it's still owned by somebody, like a person. Or a small investor group.
Which group it is and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not part of the bigger stuff. Oh, did you hear about Uptown Funk guys that got $50 million in debt at the MGM? Did you hear about this?
The Uptown, you mean Mark Ronson?
No, Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars.
Yeah,
right,
I always
Bruno
forget
Mars.
his damn name. But he apparently, with the MGM alone, $50 million in gambling debt.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of money, and that tells me that he's either terrible at gambling. I mean, he must be.
Right.
How do you have $50 million in debt for gambling?
Yeah,
that's
exactly
horrible. Oh my gosh,
$50 million. Like, boy, I'd love to know. What game? What game did he rack up most of that on?
Yeah,
and was that what size was it like? 50 really crappy $1 million bets or 2 crappy $25 million bets, or like what the
what do you think the highest roller kind of thing you can do in Vegas is? Like, if you had to guess, if you had billionaires coming to town, they have a special room in somewhere.
Yeah, they have a VIP, like they've got their high roller room, and then they've got the VIP tables in the high roller room.
Yeah.
You can, I think minimum you're playing $10,000 a hand for like blackjack and stuff like that.
Crazy, man. You're right.
Is that insane money?
It's insane money. Like, if you're
bottom level,
if you're a billionaire, that's nothing to them. So
yeah,
of course it makes sense. And you would really do that up if you were the casino of choice. You know, you would make that just like the most lavish freaking evening of their lives. And if they're billionaires, you probably gotta probably bring in some weird shit, because those people aren't excited about anything anymore. They can buy anything they need, so you got to get weird.
And I like how those VIP doors, those doors to get to the high limit slots and the gaming rooms, and then they're virtual doors, not physical doors. You can walk right in there even as a low roller. If you want to go, I want to go do $10 on one pull of the slot machine, you can do that right there.
Not a problem.
But the virtual doors there, they think that it's to separate us from them. We outside there see it as separating them from us.
Yeah, we're not. You're not in here with me. I'm in here with you.
Keep those cheeseheads in there. They're looking and say, keep those knuckleheads outside.
What's the Rorschach quote? I'm not in here with you. You're in here with me, or whatever.
Yeah. Yes.
Like
right. Rorschach. I was thinking the guy who invented those ink blot tests.
Yeah, that guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I always like to talk about him.
Right.
Well, anyway,
Jurassic Park. Those aren't to keep us out; it's to keep them in.
That's right. This is you are gonna have some gambling on your gambling tour. We're gonna move on. I got to tell you about this quick email we got from somebody. This is just interesting. We were talking about stuff that helps you sleep, like you're using that sleep app.
Oh yeah, the Better Sleep app. Yeah,
all that. I listen to brown noise, deep brown noise.
Deep brown noise.
And I found one that does not interrupt it with a joke in the middle, so I'm all good now. I have a perfectly long-running 10-hour version of this without anyone screaming in the middle of it, so it's been fantastic. Anyway, we get this email that says, great thought about film sack sleeping. Hey, sheets in bed. In TMS 2614, Scott and Brian were talking about sleep apps and sounds you fall asleep to. I work in an intense mental health job, and when I try to sleep, the brain doesn't turn off. So I listen to Film Sack every single night. For years, so much so, my wife asked me what movie it will be tonight, so she patiently has to, as she patiently has to listen as well.
Oh
Sometimes about four friends being calm, talking earnestly, and talking about the old movies of the world is just a wonderful thing to drift off to. So thanks for being my sleep app. Love the show, though. I don't know how to feel about that, because if our banter is not designed on that show to put you to sleep. That's not the goal, right? But if it works for you, I don't know. I can't,
Yeah, we're not. Again, bringing up the Joe Rogan, we're not yelling or being crazy or sensational or anything like that. We're talking mellow about stuff.
Yeah.
I hope my music doesn't wake you back up after the intro.
Oh yeah, no doubt. That Macarena
what probably
thing
wakes them up more than anything else is Hollywood Homicide.
Yeah.
It's your fake Fletcher.
I mean, that keeps us up at night, so why not the listener?
It does, yeah, exactly.
Well, thanks for that. We love hearing from people. If you want to send us a message, 801-471-0462.
Yes.
Dunaway incoming, and a game to play.
He has not joined the game yet, but he will. It'll take him a second to do so.
Oh, he has piped in. Has he? Has he messaged you or anything?
He has not done any of that, but I'm sure he will. He'll be in the game momentarily.
I have confidence that he's around.
I do too.
He wouldn't.
This is the game I put together last week and then had to sleep because it was up late last night going to the airport.
Oh, that's right. That was a fun night for you. You enjoyed that.
Oh, real fun night. Yeah.
It was a good time.
And I didn't get a tip, nor did they leave anything in my car.
Oh my gosh, that's not good either.
Yeah.
Hey, looky here. We got a little game to play. It's called The Morning Half-Asses, and it stars one Brian Dunaway. Hi, Brian. Welcome to our show. How are you?
Oh, hi, Scott and Brian. I am so glad to be on your show.
No, it's good to have you on our show.
Our show.
You're enough.
You're here and we're here.
And now it's our show.
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
It still works. It's our show.
Yep. Take a number. We'll call you when we're ready, and it's good to go. We're going to play a game. When we play this game, you'll know what happens because you'll either win or lose. I don't know who's ahead right now. Is there any kind of running thing here?
Oh my God, we don't keep track of that, do we?
Not really.
I don't. Yeah, somebody out there might keep track of it, but it ain't me.
I think of this like a T-ball. No one keeps score, right?
Exactly, and it resets every week. It just resets, and you're on a fresh start.
Well, good. Give us a fresh start at Brian Ibbett and tell us how this works.
Well, I will. Welcome to the Morning Half-Ass is a trivia game where I'm actually going to be giving you the answers. I'm going to give Scott and Brian a category and 6 possible answers, 3 of which are correct, and 3 that, not tipping me after I drive across town to bring you back your damn phone, are incorrect. Just came up with that on the fly. Depending on how confident they feel with the category, they can provide 1, 2, or 3 guesses. But if they get any wrong, they get 0 points for that round. Get 1 right gets you a point, 2 right gets you 3 points, and all 3 correct gets you 5 points total. The player with the most points after 3 rounds wins the prize for their contestant. And I pulled a couple of contestants. You've been doing it wrong this whole time.
I've been trying to get the least points.
Yeah, you were trying to do like golf. I pulled a couple of contestants for members of the Tadpool that aren't able to listen live. Scott, you're going to be playing for Dan Weiserek in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Oh, nice. I like the Canadians.
Could be Weiserek. I'm not sure. Brian, you're going to be playing for Mike Cummins, a.k.a. Worm, from Scotland, but residing in Ireland.
Oh, and a Scottish guy in Ireland. Damn.
Yeah, we're all out of state this year. Or this
right.
year.
Out of
today.
state.
Out of state.
Out of
Definitely
state.
out of state, for sure.
Out of states. Your prizes today, we'll talk more about them later, but Hell Pie, The Red Lantern, and Scorn are your prizes
Ooh,
today.
Scorn. Scott likes that.
I like Scorn.
Scott's
Scorn
a
is
Scorn guy.
Scorn is gross and weird. It's awesome.
You
I like that.
used to
game.
have that controller, that weird Scorn controller they gave you?
Yeah,
That
my
was
son borrowed it though, and still has it.
So you don't have it. So okay. So you actually
yes
don't
and
have
no.
it.
Technically, I retain ownership, but he has possession. So
It's kind of like my PS5 that's Ethan's house.
yeah, yeah, that's
It's
still
been
your
there since
PS5.
Christmas.
Yeah, you should buy a Portal, and then you can have it at home, but just do it over
That's
5G.
what I thought about that. It's funny because I was actually thinking that in my mind. I'm like, how do I ask Ethan gently to give me back my PS5? And I'm like, oh, I know. I'll buy a new PS5 accessory, and he'll have no choice.
You'll have no choice. You'll take it over when you. I guess he can turn it off. So you're not.
Right.
This isn't going to work well. Anyway, well, let's play this game. I can't wait to see if I can win.
Play this game. There might be some cat action going on here in the basement, and I was
Uh-oh.
rubbing up against my and then stopped and stared down the way. So I think Salem came down to visit.
Okay.
I got to say something before we get too far.
Oh, please do. Yes.
Okay, so I live in the southern part of the United States, and right now, what we call the yellow pollen has arrived. And I always get extra dumb when the yellow pollen gets here. I can't.
Wow.
I can't-
Already
I
coming
can't
up with
think.
excuses. Okay.
No, I'm
all
telling
right.
you, I can't. If I say something stupid, like earlier, I said out of states this year. What the hell
okay.
is that?
Oh yeah.
But
okay.
that's this confusion that this yellow pollen that is
The yellow
sprinkled
pollen
Yeah.
all over. You get confusion. It's a true story.
Is it from the kudzu? What does it come from? The yellow pollen.
It's straight from hell. I think Satan blows it up into the sky. You remember like the kabuki thing? It's like and it just blows it from the ground.
What bukkake? What?
Yeah, bukkake.
All right, let's get to the.
It's pines.
Let's get
It's
to
pines.
the,
By the way, it's pines. We're covered with pines.
Oh, okay. You're covered with pines.
Pines.
Pines. Okay. Bukkake.
But it is
pines.
still
Must be
Satan.
the pines. It was the pines
Satan.
the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Satan's pipe, as I call him.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Ooh,
All right.
Wow.
Well, let's see how you do through your yellow pollen haze.
Yeah.
And your first question is this: people born in the West Indies. So, which three of these people were born in the West Indies? Your choices are Patrick Ewing, Sidney Poitier, Empress Josephine, Kelsey Grammer, Claude Monet, and Thomas Paine.
Kelsey
Three of these people
Not
were
Thomas
born
Tank
in the
Engine.
West.
Okay.
Not Thomas the Tank Engine.
No.
People born in the West Indies.
Indies. All I can think of is bad dates. Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know this at all. I'm going to pick two.
Pick
I picked two as well.
I'm
You guys
picking
both
two.
picked two, and you guys both picked Sidney Poitier.
It just seems like the right
He
thing.
says
He's got
it
that
sounds
accent.
like a Poitier,
Yeah.
like Poitier in the West Indies. Of course, yeah, absolutely. But no, born in Miami.
Ah,
Sidney
shit.
Poitier.
He has that.
No,
he has that cool
The actual
like
one's
accent.
Patrick Ewing,
Yeah.
which you did choose, Scott.
What?
Yeah.
Empress Josephine and Fraser and the Beast himself, Kelsey Grammer, born in the West Indies.
What? Come on.
I'm listening.
How did Fraser end up in there? That must be some military kid thing or something.
That's right.
Oh, that's not
Claude
bad.
Monet born in Paris and Thomas Paine born in England.
Can't think. For whatever reason, Thomas Paine is not ringing a bell. Who am I talking about there? Thomas Paine.
He's one of our founding fathers, Thomas
Oh,
Paine.
Scott.
I don't
You
know.
don't know who Thomas Paine is? I'm sorry.
I have no idea.
Invented house paint, I believe.
Is
That's
that-
why we call it paint. Is
Lying
named
mother.
after.
You such a liar.
I love that joke. It's good though.
But it's a good lie. It's a good lie.
Yeah, it's a great lie.
And I think I easily could be wrong. I'm going to get some emails if Thomas.
The problem
Paine
is
not one of
that
our, I
this-
thought he was among one of our founding fathers, among the group.
Oh, you're right.
Well,
I just looked him up. He is English-born American founding father. I don't remember him ever coming up for anything.
Thomas, wasn't Thomas a real common name in that era? So,
Probably.
yeah, makes
Yeah.
sense.
Sure.
It makes
Thomas
sense. Probably any
Jefferson,
you would think.
Thomas P.
Everybody
Whirl.
there had a John Thomas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thomas.
Yeah. They
Hey,
did.
let's get to question number 2.
Sounds
Something
Oh.
a lot easier.
Yeah.
You guys are both men.
Jesus.
Both men, so
Questionable.
this should be
Questionable.
easy for you. Which of these are colognes for men? Your choices are
For men.
Network, Ood, One Man Show, Mother Road 66, Lymph and Fluff Magnet.
Lymph?
You couldn't go like Polo, Drakkar Noir, or something.
Oh, I
that at
could,
least
but I
survived.
didn't.
What the hell is
My
lymph
error.
or fluff magnet? My gosh.
Or Ood.
Yeah, dude. These are terrible. Okay.
Network,
These are all
the
real?
one-man
Can you
show.
confirm that part? Are they all real actual things or are they not? Or some of these you can't tell us, can you?
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not
Okay.
going to tell you.
Fair enough.
I don't know if it would help you, but I might not know.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Sometimes they tell me on the thing like, "Oh, that's really such and such," but in this case,
All right, there.
I'm picking 2. I don't know.
I went with 3 because I'm definitely losing it. So I mean, maybe I'll get a windfall and just get all 3.
maybe.
I
All
mean,
right. Okay.
Let's find out.
Look at you guys. All right, going big. Network, yes. One man
sounds
show,
like an alpha.
yes.
Sounds like an alpha. Yeah.
Mother Road 66. Those
Ah,
are your 3
shit.
right there.
Shit.
Network, one man show, and
I al-
Mother Road 66 are all real close.
I
to me.
thought,
Fortunately,
one man show I felt like you were misdirecting on that one because it just seemed too obvious. It's
I
like,
Too
felt
on
like
the
there was
nose.
definitely.
because it's got
Yeah,
man in it, right? It's like,
it's got man, so you'd immediately assume. Network
this
is
for
made
women?
by Lomani. Mother Road 66 is made by Parfum Satori, and One Man Show was made by Jacques Bogart.
it's geez.
An odd made by Brian in his kitchen.
That's right.
Yes.
Can you tell me if lymph is anything real? Is that bullshit?
Just a node, as far as I know. Yeah,
I can't imagine a perfume or a cologne called lymph.
I did look up fluff magnet, and that's just a term for those magnets that are kind of puffy that you put on your fridge. That
well, good.
like have a
Oh,
little bit
geez.
of puffiness.
I
to it.
really thought that was a term.
It sounds like
you
a
know,
porn.
for
It sounds
something.
like a porn
Yeah,
term. Boy,
Yeah, definitely sounds like
that's
a porn.
that dude is really a fluff magnet.
Mm. I like the chat's idea that One Man Show is a cologne by Adam Carolla. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Nice job, guys.
One man show. Love
Yeah.
it. All right, let's get to question number 3. Maybe you guys can get some points here. JK Rowling, just continues to put out those tweets that are so friendly and inviting and all all inclusive.
Sure.
Which of these are creatures in the Harry Potter universe?
Oh, guys, where were you
Like that
going? I'm
direction?
like, where are you going? Where are you going?
Yeah.
No, it's
Your,
okay.
your choices are the Squibmonk, Shrake, Ix, Flobberworm, Goo Ant, and Doxy.
I've read all
3 of
those
those.
books. I don't know any of these.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same.
How did I?
Squibmonk,
I haven't read
Shrake.
all of them, but I went through a lot.
By the way, for those of you who are listening and not sure what the score is currently 0-0. 0-0. Zip.
Goose
Zip,
egg,
zip, zip.
goose egg.
Goose egg.
Jeez. Only one of these sounds right.
I think I should get a point for just not choosing anything. That's how I should win.
The only way, like it's war games, and the only way to win is not to play, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've seen Shrike lately like 4 different times in a video game. I saw it in an anime and then again in some TV show. And I don't know why suddenly my life is Shrike heavy.
I think only the first Shrike. I liked the first Shrike. I didn't like any of the sequels. But
Yeah, you know what?
Shrike 3.
It was too much donkey in the later
too much
Shrakes.
donkey in the later Shrakes.
Yeah, too much Shrike.
You cut me deep, Shrake. You cut me deep.
That's a line right out of Shrake 1. Nice job.
Yeah.
All right.
Somebody once. Brian, you gonna choose something? Here?
I'm shut up.
Are you googling real quick?
No. What the hell would I Google?
Yeah, what would
So-
you Google?
Jesus.
What is a Shrake?
I don't know. I'm just trying to. I'm going logically, like what makes sense. What are some other words I've heard that are close to this? And I'm
Yeah.
kind of floating towards that, but I'm just not sure. So I'm just going to
Yeah.
do that.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Playing it safe. Brian locking in with 1. Scott locking in with 2. Well, Flobberworm, you both locked in on and got that one correct. So that's a point for both of you.
Ooh, now the real meat.
I felt like that was safe. Yeah.
Yeah, that feels that one did feel like the safe one.
Yeah.
By the way, Shrake, totally a
Oh,
Harry
nice.
Potter creature. By
Shit.
the way, nobody chose it.
Do you,
But,
do you speak
Shrake-
Shrake tongue? Parcel tongue? Same thing?
That's
Shrake,
right.
Shrake?
The other one is Doxy. Good job, Scott. You got 2 of
Woo!
them,
Look
Doxy
at
and
you,
Flobberworm.
Scott.
Congratulations.
don't-
And Flobberworm.
But I didn't
Doxy,
walk
and
away with
Shrake.
no points.
No,
I
that's
You
did not
true.
did
get
not get, you
blown
did
out.
not get skunked. Well done.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a pure guess. I don't know what a doxy is. Is it like a little fairy or something?
Either.
It's a
I
Harry
have
Potter
no
creature
idea.
in
I don't
Harry
know.
Potter.
Icor got it right away. Like he nailed all three of them right
Like
after
a
I
guy-
listed the questions.
Yeah.
So he's a
Kevin's a nerd.
Kevin's a nerd. So there you go. Congratulations, Scott, for the win, and congratulations by proxy, Dan Wiezerek in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. You're going to be getting the Hell Pie and the Red Lantern.
Canada!
Congratulations.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Mike Cummins, you're going to be getting Scorn.
Sorry, Mike.
It'll keep you occupied in
That's good.
Ireland before you make your way back to Scotland.
Yeah, you know what?
Scorn is awesome.
You both kind of won today.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the idea around here. We like everybody to get
That's
a little
pretty
something.
much, yeah. Everybody gets a participation.
Yeah, except
or
Dunaway.
a partation.
Yeah, Dunaway gets this though. He loses.
That's really,
And,
he is our only loser because he
didn't.
loses and he goes home with nothing.
That's
But I
right.
still gotta. No, I didn't. I have these memories.
Oh,
You can't take those from me.
You can't take
That's what-
that from you.
That's what losers say. That's great.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great loser take. It's pretty good.
And that's what meanies say. Meanie.
That's what meanies say. Kiss our butts. All right, his butt has been kissed.
Oh, I should have said, is it really his birthday tomorrow, Brian Dunaway?
Oh, is it? I don't know. I should have it on
I
my
don't know.
calendar.
I got the notification from Facebook that tomorrow's his birthday, but there was somebody in my life that I know I get a false notification from, and I think it might be Dunaway.
Shoot, let's find out. If mine says it or not, that will be the kicker, right?
Yes, exactly.
Let's see. Oh, that's Facebook. Why? Suddenly Facebook has a dark theme and I didn't have it on and now it's on?
I thought Facebook perennially was a dark theme. Forever a dark theme.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I don't
I
see.
guess X is the dark theme.
Yeah, X is definitely the dark theme. I can't find I'm not getting a notification about it, so I don't know what that means. Maybe yours is off.
Maybe.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Oh, I got a. Oh, do you remember
Could be.
James Bartholomew from forever ago? Remember that name?
Yeah, of course. Of course I remember you. Yeah.
He just sent me a
Lived
friend request.
in England. Maybe still lives in England.
Yeah, I think so. He came
Yeah.
worked here for a while, maybe, or well, he was at Nerdtacular a couple times. I know that.
Yes. Yes.
Well, all right. Happy birthday, Brian. If it's your birthday, and if it isn't, well, F off. Let's get to some quick news stories to just whet our appetite here. Here's that. The news is brought to you by.
You're saying I should stop sending these people their winnings and actually do the show? Hey, brought to you by the Monday Show tonight at 6 p.m. Mountain Time here at frogpants.tv or anytime on the podcast. Get details at frogpants.com/Monday.
That's right. Carter's going to talk. Carter, what was our thing you wanted to make sure to bring up tonight? What was it? Bad shows? Oh, we're going to talk about this. What she believes to be a terrible Last Airbender live action adaptation on Netflix.
Oh, really? I've been wondering about that.
She hates it. It's reviewing okay, and its audience scores are strong-ish. They're not like, 90s or anything. But she is her and her friends are like rock star hardcore. You got opinions. We're going to hear them tonight. So check it out, everyone.
Yeah, I did. I finished. Tina and I finished Loudermilk, and of course, it doesn't. I think whenever it was recommended, you or whoever it was pointed out that they didn't. They ended things with a little bit of a cliffhanger or we have more story to tell. So
For sure.
hoping somebody says, "Hey, Ron Livingston, let's give you more story to tell."
There was a rumor, I don't know how true it is, but I read this on Variety or something, that they were that Netflix had gotten the rights to run it to see how it would perform, and that they were considering a revival. So
that'd be great.
We'll see. I know it did well. It was in the top 10 for the whole first 2 months it was out. So I feel like there's a strong chance we might get more. But yeah, I love that show.
I
So
hope
good.
so. Yeah.
So good. All right, let's give you a couple of quick stories, maybe one here. Some Chiefs fans, the Chiefs, they won their Super Bowl deal
Oh
this
yeah,
year.
that big football game that happened last month. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they got like a ring,
The Taylor Swift concert where she didn't perform any music. That one.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the one. Yeah. Where she just sat there and pointed a lot and hugged her friend. That's
That's
the one.
right. Yes.
Well, some Chief fans need amputations now after frigid playoff game. This is from before, obviously, the Super Bowl.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
According to this hospital, some of the people who attended the near-record cold Kansas City Chiefs playoff game in January had to undergo amputations after severe frostbite. Research Medical Center didn't provide exact numbers, but said in a statement that it treated dozens of people who had experienced frostbite during an 11-day cold snap in January. 12 of those people, including some who were at the 13th of January game, had to undergo amputations involving mostly fingers and toes. And those are, I like my fingers and toes. I don't want those gone.
I like those too. Yeah, I want to keep mine. So they can no longer do the song "Head, Shoulders."
Yeah, they stop right there.
Where they stop. That's where they stop, and they just put their heads down.
I guess they can do knees and.
Oh, knees. Yes, I'm sorry, knees and toes. And that's
head, shoulders, knees, and. Wah, wah.
Head, shoulders, knees, and.
It's kind of morbid and sad, but yes, they can no longer do that song.
I really do feel bad for them, but
yeah,
it's a football game. If you're starting to feel when you have problems, you need to go somewhere warm up in the place.
Yeah, get the F out of there. The temperature for the Dolphins-Chiefs wild card playoff game in particular was minus 4 Fahrenheit, which is minus 20 degrees Celsius. Jeez Louises.
Wow.
And the wind gust made the wind chill a minus 27 Fahrenheit, minus 33 Celsius. That's very cold. This shattered a record for the coldest game in Arrowhead Stadium history, which had been 1 degree Fahrenheit, minus 17 Celsius back in 1983 when they played Denver.
When they played us, yeah.
It's funny. It's ironic, though, that Denver and Tennessee playing in the cold kind of makes sense to me. The Chiefs playing in the cold makes sense. The Dolphins playing in the cold does not make sense.
Doesn't make sense. Right?
No, not at all. But anyway, these people had to. I don't know if it's worth your fandom. I'm just saying. I'm not saying you shouldn't have gone to the game. It's not worth it.
Go in. If you're when you start feeling that it's like, oh crap, I think I need to go inside, or I'm gonna have some serious health problems. And go in.
And what it sounds like to me, these are probably individuals that didn't have proper glove / coat / winter wear on, because I think you can survive those temperatures pretty well if you're equipped for it. Like those,
I think so.
It gets pretty cold like that in Minnesota or.
Yeah, so you just make sure you've got the big thick wool socks and gloves or mittens. Mittens are better because you keep your fingers together and they warm each other up as opposed to separating them out.
I never thought of that. That's why mittens are mittens. That's why we do that.
That's why mittens are mittens. Yeah, it also saves on fabric, but I think it's just nature that your fingers are warmer in mittens because they're together as opposed to being separated.
You know who
can't keep them separated.
I'll tell you who loves mittens: AI art generators. They love them.
They love it. Exactly. Like, don't have to try and remember how many fingers people have.
No, it's just like one fat finger, and you got your mitten. Yep. You're all done.
People that hate mittens. Nightcrawler from the X-Men hates. Oh no, also prefers mittens, hates gloves. Yeah, it's true.
Oh, is that's a thing?
Well, Nightcrawler has 2 big fingers, so he can't really do gloves.
Right, I always forget. He's got like not like claws.
2 big fingers and a thumb. Yeah,
it's like lobster.
Basically looks like this. Like he's permanently doing the Spock thing.
He's a fan favorite. Do you think we get him in the new deal?
I hope so. Yeah.
I wonder who else. I was trying to think about this the other day because I was just like talking to my nephew about X-Men last night, in fact, and he goes, "Who do you think they'll be in there?" So, well, you'll have Professor X. We don't know who that. I mean, will they pull what's his name again? Maybe I don't know.
Stewart, probably not. Not if.
Not Stewart, but the younger dude. What's his name?
Oh, yes, I know who you're talking about.
McAvoy.
McAvoy. James Mick.
But they're not going to do prequel-y stuff. They're going new stuff, right? Don't you think? They're going to start over. This isn't a fresh take. It's got to be.
Yeah, it'll be a fresh take, but it'll probably be. I would bet that it's going to be a combination of old and new team characters. Like,
okay. Give me your lineup. Who do you want?
All right. Okay. So your lineup. Let's do the prediction here. Let's see how many of these I get right when this finally comes out.
All right.
You'll have your Cyclops.
Sure.
I think you'll have a Jean Grey.
Probably.
Beast for sure.
Yeah. Someone's got to run IT. You got to have Beast.
You need your IT person, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
I think you get. Ooh.
Do you want Colossus in there? You want your big
Who
guy?
do you get? That's what I'm trying to think from the 94 X-Men 94 and after thing. The all new, all different X-Men. I think you get your Colossus.
I like Colossus. Big fan.
Especially since you've kind of gotten him. Oh yeah, you'll get a Wolverine.
Oh yeah, Colossus was in Deadpool, so you could probably just
exactly. That's what. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do that because we're gonna probably get more Colossus in Deadpool. This Deadpool 3.
I hope so.
Maybe.
I hope so. I love him in the Deadpool stuff. He's so good.
He's so Russian compared to the ones we got in the second X-Men and Last Stand.
Yeah, those were not great portrayals in my opinion.
Now people are saying Rogue. This would be where I'd love to see them, how they connect the Marvel or how they connect the X-Men to the MCU. Give us the storyline where Rogue is this member of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants and actually steals Carol Danvers' powers, uses her thing to wipe out the memories of Carol Danvers, and that's kind of and then defects to the X-Men.
That's not bad.
That would be a great like first X-Men story to bring them into the MCU.
Yeah, I'd be all right with that. That sounds all right. You're probably going to end up. You got to have Wolverine. He's in there, right?
You got to have Wolverine. He's fan favorite, and there's no way you don't. Yeah. I don't know if we get a Nightcrawler right away. I think Nightcrawler could be down the road.
He'll bamf in later.
You need a young person, so either a Kitty Pryde or a Jubilee.
No Jubilee, please, no Jubilee. I mean, I know they could redo her in a way that maybe would be cool, but just able it. Like Storm or somebody else. Like
Storm, right? Storm would be a good one to do as well. Maybe a Bishop, because I mean we're getting all these characters obviously in the 97.
Bishop is cool.
Yeah, Bishop is really cool.
Yeah, I don't know where I want him to stop. This is the problem. There's so many cool X-Men that are on the outside. Yeah. It's like you don't want to stop. You think they do? Here's my question for you. Think they do the thing where Professor X has got the helmet and he can walk now? Do you think they ever mess with that?
Oh, gotcha. Where he's got his little portable Cerebro on his head and then walks around.
Yeah.
No, I think too much has been established with Professor X in the wheelchair. Even though it won't be Patrick Stewart, but seeing him in Multiverse of Madness, for the non-X-Men fans out there, you need wheelchair connection.
Yeah, I agree.
Someday we'll find it. The wheelchair connection.
I got in the dumbest argument with a guy on Twitter over the weekend that was so stupid about Professor X. Let me tell you what he was saying.
Okay.
He was saying, I don't think that characters who have magic should be disabled. And I went, I don't think you understand what Professor X is, first of all. It's not magic. This isn't magic. He's not using magic. Like, okay, so take that out of your head. His disability has nothing to do with his mutant powers. Now, if he was somebody whose mutant power was to take paralyzed legs and make them walk again, well then okay. I could not disengage fast enough. Do you think
he maybe meant maybe he just meant Ilyana Rasputin? Maybe he meant that kind of magic and not
I don't think this guy was that that plugged in. Honestly, it was just like, what? Really? I got out of it. I couldn't talk to that guy.
It feels like they're trying to pull you back into the cesspool of Twitter conversations. Just
yeah. Engagement bait, baby. It's out there.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break. When we come back from this break, we're going to have an unusual moment of double Bobby. We had him last week. Now we're having him again. The reason we're doing that is because Steven had a doctor's appointment today and could not be here. So as a result...
And our second reason is that Scott needs to have a talk with Bobby.
Yeah, we need to have a real stern talking to about what he did in that silo.
And, you know what you did, Bobby.
Yeah.
You know what you did.
That's right. I mean, this divorce is going to be messy. Anyway. That's all coming up after this break, but I don't have any idea what we're playing, so we should probably ask Brian. Brian, what are we playing?
Yeah. Oh, Paul Macias says Magneto let X-Men throw people off. That's what the X-Men 97 series is going to be. It's going to be Magneto leading the X-Men because
I didn't know that.
Professor X died at the end of the animated series, the original 90s animated series.
Oh, that's true. So this picks up right after that.
Picks up right after that, and we're going to find out that... And he did for a while in the 90s. He had this horrible purple and black costume with a big M on his chest, a massive M on his chest.
It was bad.
Horrible.
It was really bad. I'm excited about it. When is that? That's soon, right?
First episode comes out Wednesday.
Oh man, so excited about that.
And I might join you and Brian for a little discussion every once in a while if you're doing that live.
Oh,
watch.
hell yeah. You should absolutely do it. I think we even said that when we talked about it. We're like, we got to get him in on that because he knows this shit.
You told me about it, and if I'm not lifting, I'll totally do it. So it really depends on how early on a Friday you guys can do it. But
we'll figure it out. We want to do it, though.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, let's play some music. What do you got?
Let's get to the music. This one, we've got a couple this week that are going to be from listeners or friends of listeners. This one comes to us from a listener named Paul. Hello there, Colorado and Utah. I have a friend whose band is releasing their second EP on March 8th. The band is called Painted Roses. They formed in Logan, Utah, and I believe they're all currently living in Colorado. So both a Utah and a Colorado connection.
Nice.
The new EP is called Two Lines, and the first single released is called Tired Eyes. Check them out. They're pretty damn good. You can find their music pretty much everywhere, and you can follow the band on either TikTok or Instagram under the name Painted Roses.
Nice.
Thanks. And even though Scott made the inexcusable mistake years ago by stating that the former all-pro defensive back turned TV actor Merlin Olsen was a graduate of BYU instead of Utah State University, I still maintain positive regard for the show.
Oh,
Signed,
man.
Paul.
Is that I still thought that until just now. I didn't know that. Crap.
All right.
All right.
Fix your Merlin Olsen knowledge there, Scott.
Yeah, and I really like Utah State as well. So, yeah, oops. I'll fix it.
All right. All right. As mentioned, this is the song "Tired Eyes" from the Painted Roses, their brand new EP. Go pick it up right now. It's called Two Lines. Here are Painted Roses.
Actually, in the rest of the world, soccer is called football. You should try it. Soccer or football is excellent physical conditioning. But don't worry, it's all in good fun.
And we're back. Tell me who that was again.
Sure, that was a band called The Painted Roses, a brand new song called Tired Eyes. Big thanks to Paul for letting me know about those guys.
That's awesome. Check this out. That's your M, right? This is the guy. Check your Discord there. Is that the?
I'm checking it right now.
That's the Magneto.
Yeah, isn't that horrible?
That's really bad.
Yeah, it's so. That's not from the X-Men '97 cartoon?
No.
I bet it is.
I think this is older. Okay. I think. Well, I searched. All I did was search for Big M Magneto, and this is what it came up with.
Yeah, it might be. That might be because that is what the new series is going to start with, is Magneto leading the X-Men. That could be it.
I mean, in a way, I'm glad they're going to keep that because that's how they left it.
Because it's comic accurate, yeah.
But stupid, right?
Yeah.
Just stupid. No, we get who you are, dude. Your M doesn't have to be half your body.
Oh, the M. That must be Magneto.
No, that's just a stupid thing to draw.
Yeah.
All right, Bobby. That's who I'm pulling in. I forget what we're doing here. All right, Bobby's on his way. We're gonna have him here again. It's like a little double doser of this.
Science.
Bob is hungry, and the soup looks good.
It sure does. Bob is here to join us as he does each and every time he's on. And right now he's back. Bobby, how do you feel about what you've done in my dream? How do you feel about that?
Well, you know what the funny thing about that dream is that the affair that me and Kim are having does not happen in a silo at all.
Right. There's no silo. So that the big inaccuracy here is the silo part. Okay, I get it.
It's funny too, now that I just think about it, how strangely connected to my recommendal this week this whole conversation is.
Oh my gosh, really? That's funny. I can't wait now.
Yeah.
Well, Bobby, it's good to have you back, though. Regardless, dreams are stupid. Don't worry about those dreams.
Yeah.
Follow your dreams.
You can't help it. You really can't.
No, you really can't. It's just going to happen, and mine are stupid. Mine are so dumb sometimes.
In my dreams, Tina's having an affair with a guy who's got a glove with a bunch of knives on it on one hand and a red and green striped ratty sweater and a crummy hat.
Oh, my gosh. And, that's familiar somehow. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, not sure why, yeah. But he always makes these horrible one-liners.
It's really ringing a bell. Well, Bobby, thanks for stepping in today so that Steven could do his blood tests and stuff. Break all of his HIPAA things I'm doing today.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's good to have you here. Were you able to find some science you thought was appropriate for today's discussion?
Have you found any science?
I'm always reading science, so I just grabbed something that I was working on already, and I was doing some research for something we're going to record for a news item. So this isn't what we're going to talk about on the show, but in researching that thing for that show, I came across this, which I thought was really interesting, and thought, well, why don't I talk to the boys about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with a question, which is, do you think that there are more herbivores or carnivores in the world? I'm just wondering what you guys think.
Straight one or the other. No, so no omnivores. Like basically one.
Yeah, no omnivores. We're talking about only things that are only herbivore and things that are only carnivore.
So humans are out.
Nothing.
Humans are out because we do.
Right, because we are.
What about vegans?
Yeah. How about the vegans? Do you count the vegans?
I don't think there are any vegans in the animal world,
That's
except for humans. I guess humans are animals.
Yeah, there are plenty of animals that only eat
That's true.
vegetables, but they're not like making a stand. It's not
I
like
feel
they
like
made
to
a
be
choice.
a vegan, it has to be a choice,
Yeah,
right?
I agree. Let's think.
I would bet there are more herbivores.
I'm gonna guess. I think Brian's right. I think it's more herbivores than meativores.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's more herbivores as well. So there was a 2019 paper. I'm just going to go right over the question. No answer.
Yep, we'll never find out. We'll never
There was
know.
a 2019 paper that I was looking at that examined animal diets and of 1,000 different species of animals today, and then sort of did some genetic analysis, right, to then look at what the animals might have looked like, their ancestors, and then went back, combined that with fossil records to look back 800 million years to try to figure out what were things eating back then, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the research also found out in doing that there are many, many more carnivores out there than you'd think. In fact, there are more carnivores than there are herbivores,
Really?
which surprised me.
Yeah. I don't know why that's. I'm trying to. So now before you give us the why is that? Why is that such an assumption we would make? Is it because you know what it is? It's because there's so much damn plant life that you just assume, well, things would evolve to eat that because that's the prominent thing to eat, and not each other because there's less of that. That's why I would assume that.
Right. That's why I would have assumed it. You see, when you're looking around in the world too, I feel like you see a lot of, or think about a lot of herbivores, and like you said, there are plants everywhere.
Yeah.
There are, if you put numbers to it, there is 1,000 times more in terms of biomass. Like if you were to take all of the plants in one giant mass and weigh it, and then you do the same thing with all the animals. There's 1,000 times more plant biomass than there are animals.
Sure.
So you would think, with so much plants available, you must have more herbivores, but
Yeah.
not so. They found out that about 63%, according to their analysis, 63% of animals are carnivores, and only about a third of animals are herbivores.
How do those? You're probably going to tell us, but how do those break down? Like insects, fish.
Yeah. Good question.
Just all animals. I didn't the analysis. I didn't see a breakdown on that level. But I mean, there are there are carnivorous and herbivorous
Mammals,
of both of
for sure.
those.
Yeah.
Of both of
Oh,
those,
yeah.
insects, fish, all kinds of stuff. So it includes
true,
all of
yeah.
those. Only 3% of animals are omnivores, which is I thought also
wow.
very interesting.
That
is interesting.
Totally shocking to me.
Yeah.
I didn't. I don't know why my assumptions would be otherwise. That's the thing I
it'd be
find most
higher,
fascinating about this stuff is how, like I've never really thought about it before, but my assumptions would have, if you just said, Scott, gun to your head, you're going to die if you don't get this right, I still would have said herbivores.
Yeah.
You know what I
No,
mean?
I would have too. I don't think, and I think that's the reason why this paper was kind of making headlines in the science news world, was because I think a lot of people make that assumption that there are way more herbivores than carnivores. It also makes sense when we think about like the food chain or the food web. You tend to think that there are fewer predators, and there have to be more down the chain. There have to be more of those things to support the whole system, right?
Sure.
But apparently that's not the case. They one thing that they looked at too when they were looking at this analysis, that they went way back, and they're pretty sure after this that the first multicellular animal was probably a carnivore. And which is shocking because it's long been thought that the first multicellular animal was probably an herbivore. They thought it was a plant-eating animal, because because plants were on land.
Yeah.
Like plants were way more successful early on than multicellular, what they call heterotrophic life. A heterotroph is something that is basically not a plant. Like it's a cellular or multicellular or singular cell, but it's an organism that doesn't create its own energy from sunlight. That's a heterotroph.
And they did real well early on. So by the time something resembling a mammal and or lizard or whatever made it to shore, we'll go with the cartoon version of this where they just crawl off. They're like a fish with legs.
Yeah, in 5 steps.
But even assuming that the idea is that this stuff was there, so you would think, next step is you would eat that for sustenance, and then you would move on. Yeah, that's crazy.
Also, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, but make a very confident guess that there are way more carnivores that eat herbivores than herbivores that eat carnivores.
Yeah,
say for sure
that sounds right. Yeah.
I think that's probably true.
The poor herbivores, man, they're always getting screwed in this deal.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a safe assumption to make.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Bobby, you mentioned the food web. I've never actually heard that term until today. Tell me what that means. I assume it's the structure of how. I don't know how the food works, food chain works, right?
My mom was in the Amazon studying the food web when she died. I can't get that damn line right.
It's all right. They couldn't get that whole movie right, so don't feel bad.
Couldn't get that whole movie right. Yeah. Anyway,
couldn't get their whole script right.
The food web.
Yeah.
You've heard of the food chain.
I have heard of that. Yeah.
Well, scientists, like when you talk about ecology and stuff like that, we don't really talk about food chains anymore because it's not a chain. Really, it's
chain. A chain implies like a completely like linear,
a single. Yeah.
Right.
Like A only eats
that,
B and B only eats C, but in reality, A might eat B, C, and D, and C.
Also, so you can make a food chain if you're talking about something specific, but talking about food chains doesn't really give you very much information about what's going on in an ecosystem. So a food web is when you take when you look at an ecosystem, you take all the organisms in that ecosystem, plot them out, and then draw lines between what gives energy to what, like what is consuming what, and then it creates a web.
Oh, I kind of want to see that. Is it cool? Like, is there a pattern emerge from that? Like,
oh yeah, patterns definitely emerge. First of all, you always start with like the sun in the middle because the sun gives all its energy to all the plants and like things that use chlorophyll and chloroplast and everything. And then from there you'll see what you end up seeing is you have primary consumers, sort of in towards the middle of it because primary consumers are consuming the plants, which are producers. Producers produce all their own food and energy, so they tend to be, or they are, all in the middle. Then usually on an outer ring around that, you end up seeing all the primary consumers, which are eating the plants, and then secondary and tertiary consumers further out. And then all the apex predators in an ecosystem are all the way on the outside of a web and stuff like that.
Interesting. Yeah, I found a few examples of it. There's some basic ones, like where they only take tertiary consumers, secondary consumers, primary consumers, and then producers and decomposers. Yeah. And then they kind of connect those loosely. But I'm guessing because there's so much variety of insect, mammal, amphibian, whatever, the web, the real web is probably insane. It's like just a million lines going 1,000 directions. And
yeah, exactly. What's cool about it, I've done this activity with kids in school before, is when you have the kids pick animals that they can represent, and they make food. They run around the class and use some string and make food webs with each other. And then if you quote unquote kill one of the animals and then remove its cut its links to the web, and then you start to see that it has sort of a chain reaction and causes other connections to fail and stuff like that. So it's a really fun way to illustrate how a single organism can be very important to supporting the entire ecosystem, because everything's so connected.
It's probably a discussion for a different show, but
yeah,
the food pyramid that we do,
yeah,
it's kind of bullshit, right? It's kind of.
I don't even think they call it a food pyramid anymore, do they?
I don't know. I did a search for 2024 food pyramid and I found one, but I don't know what they. I mean,
if it's really, yeah. I mean, that was more to show you what percentages of things you should be eating, right? Like a lot of veggies on the bottom and like a little bit of dairy, less dairy and less meat or whatever it is.
So in the food pyramid that we all learned about when we were in school was definitely funded by the agricultural
growers.
people.
Yes, it was brought to you by Texas A&M.
Yeah.
It was because it had like all the grains at the bottom, right? Like,
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
so what I'm seeing now is like there's a plate and a cup, and they now break it out like a pie chart.
Like a pie chart, yeah. Ooh,
so
pie.
like fruits are this big, grains
how
that
much,
big, protein.
How much of the plate is pie? Because I want to eat that.
Yeah,
no pie here, but there's a pretty good size dairy, so that's cool. Yeah,
great.
That'll give you the a little bit of.
Yes, it will. Crop dusting at Snowbird if you give me that much dairy.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So another thing that I learned about when I was looking through this article that I was reading was that the first cellular, we were talking about, we brought up why is it that the first animals were probably carnivores, and when we talk about first multicellular animals, we're talking about not a lot of cells, like still floating around in water and still very small. They define carnivores in this paper as a creature that eats other heterotrophs. So things that eat other organisms that are not plants, right? Things that are not making their own food.
Okay.
So,
all right.
So that's what a carnivore is. And that's kind of what a carnivore is if you think about it. Like we define it as something that eats other animals to get its energy or has to eat other animals. But they were just, trying to make that definition make more sense for microscopic organisms as well.
Sure.
And so they define it that way. So the discussion in the paper that was really interesting was why? Why would it be? Because you would think, as we already said, that the question would be, or that you would think there'd be more herbivores. So then a question would be not why are there so many carnivores now? Because we know that there are a lot of carnivores. They said a better question is, why doesn't everything eat plants? Like, why isn't it that we don't have a ton of herbivores? And they said that really, especially evolutionarily speaking, breaking down plants requires much more complex bodies. And it's actually more complex.
Oh, interesting.
In our digestive system to break down plants. And it's because the cellulose in the cell wall of plants is very difficult to digest. It's mostly like we don't have a very easy time digesting it at all. But animals, ruminants, which are animals like sheep, goats, cows, they, for example, have very complex 4-chambered stomachs.
Right.
That is specially designed to store like a bunch of bacteria in different parts of the stomach in order to help. The bacteria is what actually is breaking down the cellulose to help and is essentially fermenting the cellulose for them so that they can consume it. Rabbits and guinea pigs are another example. They're called cecotropes. Or cecotrophs, and they kind of eat their own poop in order to redigest it again because they couldn't fully digest it the first time,
I think we have a dog who does that.
That's a different reason.
I think that dog is just stupid. That's what's going on there.
And humans are another,
really.
like we don't have super complicated guts, but we have to cook our plants for the most part to be able to eat them and get more nutrients out of them. That's a big theory as to why cooking and fire became something that we do a lot, is because it unlocked nutritional value in plants and meat as well.
Yeah,
Oh, that's interesting.
Potatoes more edible and corn more edible, and
Yeah.
I learned something crazy the other day about why in most societies there is a tradition of eating greens of some kind before your meal. And here it'd be like, oh, it's a side salad before we bring you the thing.
Right.
Or in other countries, it's like certain Middle Eastern countries, it's like handfuls of herbs and stuff. Everyone's always got this version of that. And I can't remember who she was. She seemed really smart. I was watching a video.
Yeah.
She said the reason for this is the fiber in all of these choices for veggies before your meal go in there, and they basically coat your upper intestines so that when other foodstuffs get in there, it acts as kind of a barrier for a lot. Well, it's good. Fiber's good for you for lots of reasons, but one of them is it's going to be a barrier for higher hits of like sugar hits and things like that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there's a whole thing about that. It was really interesting, and it made me realize that I don't eat enough. Like if I go, I'm trying to think of a good example of this. If I go to a restaurant, I don't always say, well, let's start with the salad, or I'll have the side salad first, or whatever. I should do that more, because I think there's like an intrinsic goodness to your system if you fill up on the plant material, and then you can have your other shit, and you're gonna have a better time than you're gonna have a better nutritional time than if you didn't, or something. There's something about all that, which is again a whole different show, and I have zero information other than my recollection of a very short video I watched.
That's interesting. There are lots of benefits to fiber in our diets, and a lot of the benefits we don't understand why they exist, which is really interesting. Like we've observationally seen lots of health benefits to high fiber diets, but it's not well understood why, and they're starting to unpack that and think that it has to do with the gut bacteria that we do have, because that's what I'm actually going to be talking about when we record the show tomorrow, is this new study that was on a bunch of new bacteria that was discovered in the guts of people, that we actually have a lot more bacteria that help us digest plant material than we thought we did, and they're just now starting to figure out what some of the downstream effects of having that bacteria and eating that high cellulose, high fiber diets could be, because the bacteria consumes it and then produces their own byproducts like enzymes and other chemicals that could be benefiting us in ways that we don't fully understand yet.
Yeah, totally cool. Totally get that.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Look at us doing morning nutrition info for people.
That's right.
Yeah. So take that, everyone out there who just had a burger.
Take that.
Take that.
I love
on your
burgers.
burger.
That's my favorite food.
Oh, I love a burger. Give me a
man,
good burger
what
any
do you
day. You kidding me? Oh, I want one
So-
now.
so
Now
good
I
right
want one.
now.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah. Just talking about burgers makes you think about burgers. It makes you want a burger.
Might be today.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
My vegetarian daughter notwithstanding, I might have a burger. Bobby, always a pleasure. Thank you for sitting in with us today. We really appreciate it.
It's our favorite burger, Frankenburger.
Yeah, the Frankenburger, the best burger. And you have a show called All Around Science. People should go check that out. Wherever you get your podcasts, it's fantastic. And you should probably listen. You probably have the same episode up that we talked about last time you were here. I don't know. Did you do anything new?
We did do something. The episode that came out today talks about radiation shielding in space. But the one that I did talk about last week that came out the week before was about AI and everything. And I do think that you and a lot of people listening would find that one really interesting, because it's about AI, and there was a study that was done looking at how basically ChatGPT-4 beat all the humans in a test of creativity.
Oh, wow.
Which is a really interesting new twist.
Yeah.
AI is constantly beating us at everything, and now even we're constantly moving the goalpost, saying like,
all the
well,
time.
AI can't do this, and creativity was one of those like holdouts, right? We're more creative, but now it's possible that they might be beating that. But more importantly, me and Maura had a really interesting debate, because we both take very kind of nuanced and different stances on what that means for AI, and we kind of went back and forth and debated that whole thing about what is AI, what is creativity, And is it even possible? Is AI even doing that? So you should listen. All Around Science. That's right.
That sounds great. What a cool episode. Go check it out, you guys. You will not regret it. Bobby, have a fantastic, I guess, week. I don't know what we're doing next week. I guess, are we flipping you and Steven?
I think back to, I'm sure we go back to the alternating.
Yeah. It just means you would be,
Schleicher.
you'll now be in Schleicher's old position. He'll be in your new position.
I'll have to change my entire calendar forever.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. I don't know. We'll talk to you then. Have a good one.
Yeah.
All right. That's probably easiest. Then he's not doing 3 weeks in a row, you know?
Yeah, no, we can't do that. Poor Steven.
Yeah.
Shouldn't get penalized for having a blood test. Oh, just heard back from him. Sounds like they didn't find any blood. Oh gosh. Wow,
oh no.
Scary.
Oh, he is the vampire we have all assumed he was. Crap.
Exactly. Finally,
we have confirmation. I thought we were wrong. I thought we were overstepping our bounds.
So too.
But now.
Sorry, HIPAA.
That's fine. Let's get out of here. We got a couple quick things. I got a word from Jeff Sire, a.k.a. Bronco, wrote in, sent an email. Says, Scott, the whole I like what I like discussion was great and reminded me of something. I don't remember when we did this, but we did.
I don't either.
Says, I have a list of quotes that I find insightful or inspirational that I keep on my phone. The discussion reminded me of this one. Quote, when I was 10, I read fairy tales in secret and would have been ashamed if I had been found doing so. Now that I am 50, I read them openly. When I became a man, I put away childish things, including the fear of childishness and the desire to be very grown up. It's a C.S. Lewis quote. It's very nice.
Cool. Very cool.
Well, Jeff, that's a nice thing to share. You're usually telling me I'm a dumbass, but this is a nice thing here that you sent.
It's a nice change, a nice nice break from everything.
Yeah, it's not true. He's usually pretty great, but then we you got to read this thing from Amy. What do we get here?
Yeah, this is a Kickstarter that Amy and Chuck let us know about. A friend of theirs is doing this thing. It is the 3-page RPG. It's a tabletop RPG whose basic rules fit on 3 pages. Perfect for you, Scott. Read the rules in 10 minutes, make characters in 5 minutes, play for a lifetime. Creator Rush Lila Vivat. Is that Lila Vivat?
Sure.
What do you think? Is that Lila Vivat? I would do L-I-H as Li.
Lila Vivat. That's hard to say. I don't know.
Lila Vivat. Anyway, says, he just celebrated his 50th birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Rush. I love tabletop games with deep and rich rule sets, but over 35 years of playing RPGs, even veterans can't remember all the rules. I still have to ask when I get a bonus action. I thought to myself, a game should be simple to learn yet complex to enjoy for years. The best games can be played for a lifetime despite their simplicity. I hope that I've achieved that with 3-page RPG. Just go to tiny.cc/3prpg or go to Kickstarter and search for 3-page RPG or 6-gun robot.
Wow. I like that. I would like to see this in full fruition, which it sounds like it will be. So
for sure,
go check it out.
And Amy says Lila and Lila, so it must be Lila Vivat.
Lila
that was
Vivat.
The more recent one she said. Lila Vivat.
Lila Vivat. And the way the phonetic here is, it almost sounds like V needs to be yelled. It's like Lila Vivat. Vivat. All right. Thank you for that. As always, you guys can contact us at themorningstream@gmail.com or you can text us 801-471-0462. Don't forget to go to frogpants.com/TMS for all your needs. We're going to get out of here. One of those needs is a musical, relaxing deal at the end of the show. Brian, what'd you bring?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if you need it, but I need it, Scott. Justin Munn wrote in. I'm playing some catch up on earlier requests that we've gotten for March that I'm finally getting back to because we had several days where there were multiple requests, so I couldn't get to all of them. Good day, Slurp and Butt. I'm having a hard time trying to slow down time and will have to relinquish yet another year of aging to my mortal being. I'm turning 46. Yes, cue the old farts version of the happy birthday snippet.
All right, here you go.
Happy birthday.
That's right. I would like to request something maybe a little different on the show. Something a little more country, but not full country, but maybe a little alt country. I'll leave it up to the cover meister to pick a song or cover from one of my favorite alt country artists like Sturgill Simpson, Zach Bryan, and Tyler Childers. The morning stream has been entertaining my work days and commutes for many, many years. I can definitely see why I like it. Can I get a third eagle snippet, perhaps, of the eating grass part?
Oh, my gosh.
Do you have Eats Grass handy?
I think
Jeez.
I do have that handy. Let's see. I need to make a whole board of him because he's just always good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try grass. Yeah, we got that, don't we? No, we not? Okay, eats grass. Okay, here we go. Is this it? Okay.
He lives among the beasts and eats grass.
Yep, that's the guy. He struggled with that one.
Eats grass. Somebody reboot Third Eagle. Thanks, signed Justin. Love the show, though. Well, you had me at Sturgill Simpson, one of my favorite country kind of crossover acts. I loved that anime thing that he did. But prior to that, one of the first songs that I'd heard after his cover of When in Rome was this one that he released on his the follow-up album, A Sailor's Guide to Earth from 2016. On it, you'll find this incredible cover of Nirvana's In Bloom. Here's Sturgill Simpson.
Get more at frogpants.com.
Where is Harvey Dent?
We don't know. Where